everyone, welcome to this little mini series where I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do foam printing. So last term I introduced foam printing for the first time. In fact, it was my first time doing it as well. And I was so excited to show everybody because it's the first introduction into the printmaking world, which has got loads of different materials, loads of different techniques. But foam printing teaches you the same sorts of ways of doing things, but it's really easy and pretty quick as well. And the results of everybody's work was so cool that I decided to make a little video showing people who weren't able to make it, or maybe people who just have some leftover materials and want a little refresher on how to do everything. So what is foam printing? Obviously I'm going to be showing you guys more detail in the next couple of videos, but here are some visual examples of what you can do with foam printing. So you can do stuff super basic like this, which I'm going to be showing you today, or you can make more complicated stuff like that. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoy it and make loads of cool prints. Alright, I hope you're all as excited as me to get going, but first of all, let's make sure that we have the right materials. There are two things that you probably don't have at home that you'll need to get. The first one is a roller, and the second one is printing foam. So printing foam can be a little bit tricky to buy, especially on the internet, because you can't see it or feel it to make sure it's the right one. So it's very smooth, it hasn't got like little circles in it like some styrofoam, and it's usually called styrofoam printing block or foam printing block. If it says for printing on it, then that's a good sign because it means it's made for what we're going to do. There's something that's quite similar, and it is called craft foam. The difference between this foam and craft foam is craft foam has a piece of paper on each side. And at the beginning of last term, when I was telling my students what to buy, I said, don't buy craft foam, don't confuse it with craft foam, because they're different. I just didn't think it would work. But of course, one of my students accidentally bought craft foam, but she was a lot smarter than me, and she just peeled off the paper and it worked fine. It worked perfectly. So if you can only get craft foam, then that should work as well. The next thing is your printing roller, which are super easy to get hold of and really quite cheap. So you can get them for about £3 on Amazon for the little ones. I splashed out and got a big one, and that was about £6.50, so still pretty affordable. So those are the only two essential things that you must get. The next thing is printing ink. If you can only get acrylic, that's fine as well. Acrylic will work. But the difference is if you've used acrylic before, you'll know it dries so quickly. And when we're printing, we like to take our time, we like to relax. We spend ages doing our rolling, and we might even print loads of times. So printing ink dries slowly, it's thicker as well, which is good. So this is ideal. Try to get yellow, red and blue, black and white, and then you can make all the different colours. So that would be ideal if you can do that. And then the last thing that you need is just something that is plastic and hard. So the easiest thing to get hold of probably is a takeaway container. If you can get like a big takeaway container, you can use that. But I wanted to have a bit of a bigger surface to work on. So what I did was I went to the charity shop and I bought a £1 picture frame, which was like a flexible, cheap picture frame. And then I took it out, took the frame out, took the back out, and I was left with this little bit of plastic. And that is perfect. It's worked so well. I've used it so many times. It's got a little crack in it, but it's still useful. So yeah, just something hard and plastic. You could probably even get something out of the recycling.
So let's get started. The first thing I want you to do is make a little drawing of what you want to create. Do something a little bit simple if it's your first time, but experiment with different shapes, different lines, different marks. After you have a design you're happy with, it's time to transfer it into the foam. So we're going to copy our design and using a pencil or a pen, push into the foam to make a little groove. It takes a little bit of practice to get it to the right depth. You want it to be deep enough that you can feel a groove, but not so deep that you go the whole way through. Now we're ready to start rolling, the exciting part. So we're going to squeeze out some ink onto our plastic, best to do it at the edge of the plastic. You'll need about a thumb's worth of ink, quite a big blob. Now we're going to get our roller, we're going to dip it into the ink. Try to dip it all along so you've got all the different edges, all the different bits of it. And now we're going to start rolling that ink out. It's really important we completely cover our roller in ink. So lift it up, do it in different directions, and yeah, just get a really good roll. You may need to dip back into your original blob of ink if there's not enough. Once your roller is completely covered, we're going to start transferring it onto the foam. So roll onto the foam, and then once you feel like you're starting to run out, roll back onto the plastic. And you're just going to go back and forth until you've completely covered the foam. You want to get a nice thick layer without it being too gloopy, and it should look a little bit like this, with no bits left over, no white spots, no white patches, completely covered. Then using the tips of your fingers, put it onto the paper, so flip it round, put it onto the paper. And then flip the paper and the foam around so the paper is on the top. And now find a nice hard object. You could use a rolling pin, or I use some hairspray. And we're going to roll out, pressing as hard as we can all over the foam, all over the paper. Use some elbow grease, it's a good workout. Press as hard as you can. Okay, and drum roll, it's ready to reveal your print. This is very exciting because you never really know how it's going to turn out. So turn it over so the foam is facing upwards again, and then peel your foam off, revealing your beautiful, fabulous print. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, then you can leave it in the comment and I will get back to you.